Hi everyone, it's Max from Edgecraft and welcome to the first episode of our new series on sharpening. In these short videos, I'll bring real questions from sharpeners to our guest expert, and together we'll explore practical answers, tips, and techniques straight from a professional. Our goal isn't just to talk about sharpening stones, but to open up the wider world of sharpening and share valuable insights with the community. Let's get started.
So I don't cut corners in my shop, in my business. Your stones is the best I've been used over 35 years. Those stones is going to last a lifetime. I love your stones. I praise them like gold in my shop.
It's like 100 times, once a year, 100 years. So it will be passed along in the family.
I'm done.
From sun to the sun. Today I'm excited to introduce our first guest, Kevin Cox from KC Knives. Based in a small town in Quebec, Canada, Kevin has been perfecting his craft for more than 35 years. What started as a personal challenge quickly became a lifelong passion, and every knife he makes reflects his precision, pride, and dedication to excellence. We are proud to feature Kevin as one of our trusted partners and as the expert answering your sharpening questions today. Kevin, the word is yours.
Okay, like you know, my name is Kevin Cox, and I've been making knives for over 35 years. And I came in contact with PD Tools a few months ago, and I've been trying their products, and they're over the top quality-wise. And I'm being proud to be helping you guys out, and you helping me out into my business and moving forward. I'm really looking forward to what the future brings. I have tried many different companies of stones, and this is the best I've been used. So, anything like my knives is top quality, so I want top quality stones for to match. You know, I don't like cutting corners, so hopefully we can have a great partner.
The questions that I have prepared for you today are: the first one is, what are the most common mistakes that beginners actually make?
Okay, the biggest mistake beginners make, they don't grind enough with their first stone. They try to use the 2 eye of a grit. So you got to, for me, you got to come down in the lower grit, start around 160. If your knife is not too damaged, a 160 CBN is really going to remove the steel and get a burr onto it. This is where most beginners, they don't get a good burr, they don't get their edge centered up, and they jump to the next finer stones. And when you get to your finer stone, you got still too much steel to remove, and you're never going to get a sharp edge. So you got to back, do a little extra work on the beginning, and then on the end you'll have a much sharper knife. And make sure as you're going to get rid of the burr, because it's very important. So don't cut corners on your first stone, and you'll save time on your end.
Yeah, and as we've talked before, the most important step is actually like the first stones in the series, right?
Yes, the first stone is to me is the most important. You're going to remove all the little dents or scratches or little chips out of your blade. Once you get the clean cut and a good burr, I move to the 240. You're going to remove that burr, and your edge is nice and set. Then as you move on forward, then you're going to be setting your edge, and you're going to get a great knife that's going to cut.
Okay, and our next question for Mr. Cox is, which sharpening stone should be chosen for knives made of powdered steel?
Yeah. So for powdered steel, and if you're running iron hardness, you want a good quality. I like the CBN 160 to start, and then the 240. So then you get your edge, and then you can move on to the Expert Pro for your diamond. I like the diamond ones for the finer cuts. I haven't really tested the CBN in iron grits, but what I've been using CBN for the first two, because they cut extremely fast and very clean. And then move on to the 650, 3000. And if you want a really fine touch, 10,000, well, put a super razor edge on. So we're going to start out with CBN silver. I like the silver one. So the verified silver. And then after that, your 650, you're moving up to the Expert Pro. Mm-hmm. That's what I would recommend I would go with. I've been testing it. I've been extremely satisfied with that set.
Okay, but you also mentioned that the highest grade that you're gonna go with will be 10,000. But what about 15,000? Is it like an option to choose from?
Well, you have 10,000, 15,000. To me, as a hunter, there has to be a cutoff limit. And so the 15,000 is going to cut finer. For sure, you're going to get a finer edge. But is it necessary to have that fine for for a hunter. Personally, me, no. My cutoff is at 10. The 3,000, personally, the 3,000 as a super stone. So anything over 3,000, say 5,000 or 10,000, is going to cut a little bit faster than the 15, and you got a super age. So it's just no need for me, just no need of going any farther than that.
Mr. Cox, just one question, like personally from me. What's the like steps that you take in grids? Like, what is the usual ratio, like from
My
what to
my
what?
yeah, my ratio is 160,
Mm-hmm.
then to 240, then to 650, then to 3,000, and then to 10,000.
10,000. Okay,
That
that's
that's
five
that's
stones.
that's 5 stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a ratio for me starting out with a brand new knife that I made. If I was resharpening, and that's we're talking a little bit different now. If you're bringing in a knife that you already has sharpened, that you're just going to resharpen and is not in rough condition, I would not have to use your 160 stone. I would go directly to your 240 and your 600 because there's just no need of, you're not removing that much metal.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I'm grinding the blade, so I have a little bit extra steel that I need to remove to get my edge sit. So I sit my edge with a 160.
Mr. Cox, our last question for this first video is what should you do if a sharpening stone starts to clog up and sharpen less effectively?
So that in your 160 and the 220 is not so important because I haven't seen them clogging up yet. Once you get to the 650 and that, I use what we call a stone eraser. There's a little block of like sandpaper. It was a little block of sanding pad, and I just put a little bit of water and soap onto the stone and just rub them back and forth and keep them clean. Very important to keep your stones clean, and you need to clean them after every knife.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even during the sharpening, because the grit from the steel is going to glaze your stone very quickly and your stone will not cut. Basically, the 3001 were super fine. You need to keep them clean. So when you're sharpening, sometimes say you make 20 passes, take your finger and just wipe off that clay because it's going to look like clay, and then spray with a water bottle and you clean.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. Or I do it my way, is take a little piece of silicone carbide sandpaper, a bit right the heat under, not too aggressive, 800, put a little water on it and just wipe maybe 1 or 2 times over the top, and that will keep your stones clean. And that is very important because beginners don't realize that they need to keep your stones clean. They will stop cutting. And you can sit there and push and push and push, and they're going to say, oh, the stone is no good, he's not cutting. It's not cutting, he's just dirty.
Yes.
And there is another way. You can take a green Scott pad and a little bit of Ajax or Kemper, a little bit of Ajax, most people do, spray it on with Ajax and a little green Scott pad, and that will give them a real deep clean, and you won't scrap your stones. So you mix up a little bit of like Ajax and water, a little bit of like a paste, and you just scrub your stone lightly and then spray them off and put them in your box to dry, and you're golden.
Mr. Cox, and also I have one question just came to my mind. When we talked before, you mentioned something about the longevity of the sharpening stones from PD Tool Super Abrasives. Can you tell me again, like from your experience, for how long our stones lasted?
How long they will last?
Yeah.
I don't see any end to them at the moment because, like I said, I use your 160 CBN silver, and I have approximately between 85 to 100 knives, and there's no dishing into them, there's no aller into them, so I'm looking, I don't know, maybe 500 knives, and that's a ballpark because there's no wear onto it yet at between like approximately 100 knives. So I don't know where the lifespan is at, but
Maybe
extremely
1,000.
good.
Who knows?
Maybe 1,000. Who knows? I'm open for it, you know. And one other thing that I see with your stones that what I find quality is your aluminum backing, where a lot of stones got very thin backing and they'll bend because the aluminum is too thin. Where I see your stones, your aluminum is heavy duty.
Yes.
So you don't get no aller on your stone. That's very important because when you're especially on your 160, you're going to be pushing a little bit hard, or I have a tendency to do that, you know. And the very cheap stones, and they got a very thin aluminum, and over time your aluminum is going to make a dish, and that's actually why your stones dish. Not actually the stone is dishing out so much. Your aluminum is actually bending and
Okay.
making the dish. So then
I
when
see.
you try to go back and flatten your stone, your stone is finished, it's scrap. Where yours is not doing that because you got a heavy duty aluminum. So it's all about quality into the stone and how they're made.
Yes, yes, you're correct. Okay.
So I'm not complaining. I love your stones. I praise them like gold in my shop. Because it's very important to me as my business to have good quality stones. Because I'm somebody that when I sell my knives, I want my knives razor sharp. So when a hunter comes in and picks up a knife, he's going hunting, but see, you don't have to go home and sharpen his knife. The knife is ready to go. So I don't cut corners in my shop, in my business. Some people just, not knocking anybody, but some people just put a belt each onto them and have a little note, you need to sharpen your knives. I'm not that guy. When you buy a custom knife from me, you're getting customer service 100% all the way. So I want a razor sharp knife and I want good quality stones.
Yeah, that's the right way.
To me, it is the only way, So when I come across you guys and seeing your stones, I seen the quality, and after the first time using it, I fell in love with your stones, and I haven't looked back since. Like done, all my old stones is gone. you know,
And what kind of stones, if not a secret, you used before, like before Digital Super Razor stones?
I used diamond verified stones from a
Uh-huh.
different company,
Is it?
but they was at a lower quality.
Lower quality, okay.
They're sold by a different company.
Mhm.
I wouldn't bring their name in because I don't want to knock anybody, and
Yeah.
I'm not that guy to say, okay, well, that one's better. I like your stones and it's the best of them to use. So if you're looking at a different brand, they're not the best. That's the way
Yeah.
I look at it. But I don't like. I wouldn't want to run somebody else's name down and say, well, their stones, because then you opens up a whole different ball game, and then you got people saying many different things. So in my business, I never do that. Whether it's stones or belts or steel, I try to stay neutral in everything.
Mhm.
And what I use, I try to use the best. And in my experience, that's why I go about it.
Okay.
Because I see too many saying theirs is the best, and then you have a storm.
The
I
storm
try to
incoming.
avoid that. Yeah, exactly. So I try to avoid conflict. I don't want to run anybody down. I try to do my own business and be happy with what I do and the product that I put out.
Mhm. And it perfectly makes sense. Yeah, like you have to do your own business and you will succeed, right?
Yes. Now, if we was talking private behind closed doors, I might tell you something different, but
All
but,
right.
but not on Messenger.
All right. I think that it's enough for our first video.
Yeah.
Thanks guys for watching, and please wait for the next one where Mr. Cox will answer more of your questions about sharpening. What's the best, what's the right way, etc. Thank you very much. Until the next time.
Thank you very much, and looking forward to it. And all the best to everybody.